You're Perp back with another video, and I just got out of watching Mufasa. I know I was supposed to have this review out much sooner, but better late than never, right? Nobody's really checking for this movie because Sonic is just eating up the box office, eating at its box office pretty much. You see people posting their seats. There's barely anybody filling up these theaters for this movie, but I wanted to kind of give this a chance, even though I never watched these um, live action, these animated turned into live action, whatever you want to call it, hybrid movies that Disney has been pumping out recently. The first time around with The Lion King did really well back in 2019. That was a very different year post COVID, you know what I'm saying, everything that was going on with that. But we're far from removed from that. What are my thoughts about this movie? I have some thoughts, you know what I'm saying? None of them really too positive, I will have to say. I have some positives. Let me just get my negatives out the way. Or before I get into my cons and pros, pretty much this is the story of Mufasa, obviously, because this is what the movie is called, and we follow him from his actual family, how he was separated and he became this outsider, and how he met Scar and became a part of that family, and how they became brothers. We know the story pretty much, and the problem with this movie is there's a lot of interesting ideas. I feel like the execution just doesn't land the plane for me. And while I was kind of digging in it, just seeing how Mufasa met Scar and how they became brothers, that was cool. It's just the way that Scar turns heel, or just turns into this villain, just doesn't really hit with me. Even though the performance was good, I just feel like they could have landed that better, mainly due to just the choice of making this live action animated hybrid movie, whatever you want to call it, this Frankenstein shit, I don't know. Because honestly, this movie would have done a lot better if they would have took the approach like how they did with Wish, and gone with that 3D 2D kind of hybrid style that a lot of people are pretty much adopting. I think we would have had a better movie if they would have just ditched the whole let's bring these animated characters and have them be actual lions and animals talking. It's very weird. It's very creepy, to be honest with you. It looks good at times, and then a lot of times it doesn't look good. It's very inconsistent. The use of familiar tracks throughout this whole entire movie, trying to tug at that nostalgic heartstrings, didn't really work for me. I was just like, man, that's just too on the nose. They have some interesting original songs, embracing a little bit more of a hip hop type of vibe with certain songs. Um, Very forgettable. I don't think it's going to be anything that people are going to be reciting or anything like that. So, yeah, a lot of things just fall short within this movie. The story department definitely lacks. The animation and just the visuals overall are just really wonky, inconsistent characters and their character motivations. Like, seeing where Mufasa starts and where he ends up, it's like everything was really pretty much handed to him. He runs from a lot of fights. Um, Never really wanted to be known as a king. Never wanted that type of like. He never really wanted other animals to treat him better, better than, or less than. He wanted everything to be kind of equal. The whole circle of life thing. It's just, I don't know, man. I lean more towards like Scar, where I can kind of see where he comes from. It's just like everything I get blamed for, you pretty much don't have to take no accountability for pretty much nothing. It's really odd, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of makes you just side with Scar, um, more than anything. Another issue I had with this movie, though, is just the fact that I couldn't tell who was who at sometimes, because it's like, without Scar's actual Scar, it's kind of hard to tell him the difference between him and Mufasa, even though they have different types of fur and stuff like that. And the main villain in this was definitely a knockoff Scar, but just a white version, literally. You have these outsiders, and it just didn't work. It just seems like they were trying to retread familiar beats from the original Lion King, even just making nods to Mufasa's pretty much death and whatnot. There's a lot of callbacks to that, a lot of foreshadowing. Overall, just it's a forgettable movie, man. It really is. It's a shame too, because like I said, there's a cool idea there. I just don't think that it's going to be enough to get people to go check this out. Obviously, in theaters, people just don't care. They're kind of just over that style of like animation that Disney's doing. But let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.